June 1st, 1942, 11:45 p.m. The jagged cliffs of the Kerch Peninsula claw at the starless sky, where the Black Sea's salt breath mingles with the acrid tang of gunpowder. Below, German supply lines snake through the mud like veins of iron, trucks groaning under crates of ammunition, sentries stamping frost from their boots around flickering braziers. The air hangs heavy, expectant. Then, nothing. No roar of engines, no drone of bombers slicing the night, just the faint rush of wind, like skirts brushing against broom handles in some forgotten fairy tale. High above, barely 1,800 feet, low enough to taste the earth, Lieutenant Nadezhda Popova eases back on the stick of her Polikarpov Po-2. The biplane's fabric wings shiver in the updraft, its wooden frame creaking like an old man's bones. She's 21, her face a mask of oil-smeared determination under a leather helmet that chafes her temples. Beside her, navigator Evgenia Zinovieva peers through the cockpit's chill haze, globed fingers tracing the makeshift map on her knee. The engine's been cut, deliberately, for the last mile. Silence is their weapon now. Popova's heart thuds against her ribs, each beat echoing the pulse of the steppe far below. You can almost feel it, that knife-edge tension, the world holding its breath as the plane dips into a ghost's glide. 300 yards out, the target looms, a cluster of fuel drums glinting under searchlight sweeps, Wehrmacht engineers barking orders in guttural bursts. Popova's thumb hovers over the bomb release. One twitch, and hell falls from the sky. But wait, flak bursts bloom suddenly. Orange blossoms in the dark, shrapnel whispering past the struts like vengeful spirits. Too late, the Germans have ears like wolves tonight. Tracers stitch the blackness, hunting the invisible. Zinovieva's voice cuts sharp over the intercom. Dive, Nadia, now. The Po-2 lurches, wings biting air, as the first bombs tumble free. Incendiaries that kiss the ground and erupt in rivers of flame. Screams rise from below, raw and disbelieving. A truck vanishes in a whoosh of fire, shadows twisting like damned souls. Popova banks hard, the prop coughing back to life in a sputter that sounds like mocking laughter. Wolfs nick the tail, fabric tearing with a sigh, but they're away, slipping into the void, leaving chaos in their wake. As the cliffs recede, Popova allows herself a ghost of a smile. This is no fairy tale, this is war, and tonight, the witches have come calling. But how did a gaggle of schoolgirls and factory workers end up haunting the Führer skies? Rewind the clock 8 months to the frozen autumn of 1941, when the Wehrmacht's panzers had clawed deep into Soviet soil, devouring villages like ravenous beasts. Moscow teetered, Leningrad starved under siege, and in the halls of the Kremlin, a woman's voice, clear, unyielding, cut through the smoke of desperation. Major Marina Ryskova, the Soviet Amelia Earhart. At 30, she'd already etched her name in the clouds, first woman to fly non-stop across Europe, navigator on record-shattering polar routes. But fame meant nothing now. With Barbarossa raging, Ryskova penned a plea to Stalin himself, her words a thunderclap. "Give us wings, Comrade General Secretary. Let Soviet women prove their mettle in the fight for the motherland." She pulled strings, personal ones, forged in the cockpit with the supreme leader's inner circle. By October 8th, the order came down. 3 all-female air regiments, the 586th Fighters, the 587th Dive Bombers, and the 588th Night Bombers, harasses of the dark, born from Ryskova's vision of precision terror. Word spread like wildfire through the Urals. Letters flooded in from every corner. A Kiev ballerina trading tutus for flight suits. A Leningrad librarian whose hands, once gentle on pages, now itched for throttles. Teenagers from Siberian hamlets, eyes wide with the audacity of it all. Over 200 answered the call, mostly in their late teens, early 20s, with no more than a whisper of aviation experience. Ryskova handpicked them at Engels Military Aviation School, her gaze fierce as she paced the hangar. You will fly, not for glory, but for survival. The sky is no place for the faint-hearted. Training was hell frozen over. Dawn to dusk in sub-zero winds, wrestling the Po-2, the Flying Pencil, a 1928 crop duster relic with open cockpits that bit like wolves. No radios worth a damn, no armor plating, just a 110 horsepower engine that wheezed like an asthmatic grandfather, maxing out at 94 miles per hour, slower than a Messerschmitt's stall speed. The girls dubbed it Utyoska, the duckling, for its comical waddle on takeoff, but Ryskova drilled them mercilessly. Night landings by moonlight, bomb runs on snow-draped fields, formation flying until fingers bled from frozen sticks. Enter Major Yevdokia Bershanska, the iron spine of the 588th. A veteran pilot with ice in her veins, she took command in early 1942, her voice a whip crack over the frost. Gentle gentlemen of the Luftwaffe think the night is theirs. We will teach them otherwise. Under her, the recruits transformed. Mechanic Raisa Hiratonova, barely 19, learned to coax miracles from sputtering engines, her calloused hands a testament to nights spent patching holes in canvas wings. Navigator Irina Suborova, with her poet's memory for maps, plotted courses that turned hedgerows into runways. And Popova, fiery, fearless, mastered the glide, cutting power a mile out, letting gravity whisper them to the drop. By May 1942, the regiment was battle-ready. Stalin's ink had dried. The motherland bled. They deployed south to the 4th Air Army under the Southern Front's grinding maw. The Po-2s, painted matte black for the shadows, lifted off from mud airstrips near Rostov, their pilots trading heels for boots, lipstick for grease. Word reached Berlin. An all-female bomber wing. Laughter echoed in the OKW briefings. Luftwaffe ace Hans Ulrich Rudel, the Stuka King himself, snorted over schnapps. Soviets sewing circles in the sky? Let the Fraulens knit us scarves. Generals like Wolfram von Richthofen dismissed them as propaganda fluff, wooden crates crewed by hysterics, unfit for the Führer's storm. They'll fold like their planes, one quipped, toasting to the Eastern Front's inevitable crush. Oh, how wrong they were. As the 588's first sorties etched smoke across the horizon, the mockery curdled. Sentries in foch-holes traded tales of phantom dives, engines dying like choked screams, then bombs raining from nowhere. The whoosh of wind through struts, it mimicked broomsticks on the hunt. Die Nachthexen, the Germans whispered in trenches from the Don to the Dnieper. Night witches, cursed crones of the steppe, skirts whipping in prop wash, cackling death from the void. But on this night, June 1st, as Popova's Po-2 banks homeward, flames licking the Kerch cliffs behind her, a single question burns brighter than the inferno. What happens when the witches don't just haunt, but hunt?